Hey, all you crafty people. Right. Well, I tell ya, since we did the box and I chose to do it with some just very neutral paper for the lining that was just going to kind of pick up the creamy color, I got plenty of paper. I'm not having to do much of anything. Now, this is what's left of my cover. I was using everything. I mean, there is still some of this that I haven't cut up and used yet. But yeah, pretty much everything but this of the cover was used. And I think just a little bit of the front that I did throw away up above where, you know, it just has graphic 45 information on it. So yeah, pretty cool. I love when I do that. So we still have our covers. This is for the journal and this is for the mini album. So I still have those and keeping that pulled separately. But now, because I didn't use these sheets in my, in the, you know, blah, on the box. So I have, this is green on the back, and then of course all of my colors. Then I have, there's either this page or this is the other side of it. And I actually have 2 of these because you get 3 pieces per. And then I have the birds with the lines, the words and birds with the feathers, and then I have another one of these pages with I love that color, and I love this print, and I really haven't used it much. So and then this one. Oh, and then here's another green one. So I have plenty to play with now. I'm not sweating it like I was doing before. So we have lots of good things that we're going to be able to do in our journal, because that's where I was really kind of sweating it. And then I can finish the pages and possibly not have to do it with all the tidbits, although I like using all of the paper pack. I don't like having any of it left unless I maybe have some cards or something that I didn't use, and I can just put those, a few extras in a pocket or something, so you guys can spread them around, whomever buys this. And then I do still have this from the cover here. So, you know, I may use some of this to put on the bottom. I just don't know yet. Or I may put a piece of felt under there. I'm not sure. And I did have a little mishap putting the paper on upside down. So I do have a little bit of a tear right here. It's not very noticeable, but I know it's there. So I am going to try and do something. I may actually, I have enough that I think I could just maybe cut a piece and put it over, and then I wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be seen at all. But you know, I think that would just look kind of funny. So there may just be a big plate or something decorative that I put here, maybe a frame. So lots of possibilities, So, you know, when you make a boo-boo, it's not the end of the world, guys. It's just not. Just not. We can fix anything. We are only limited by our imagination. Rah! And of course, for some people, there's that fear. I'm just going to totally screw it all up. You made one, you can make another one. You know, you made the journal, you can make another journal. You can make another page to go into that signature. You can do, you know, if there's a piece that you just really love the way it came out, well then cut it and paste it onto another page. You know, there's always something that you can do to save the work that you're working on. So anyway, I thought, now this is the journal, and we have our pages in there, And so I thought I would, okay. On these journal pages, now I have these two that are shorter, are just some writing papers. And I will go through and add some of our papers and some ribbons or a little bit of lace or something. So I am going to add to these. This isn't it. I just, was trying to come up with ways, if you don't have the paper to make this kind of thing, okay? So these two are actually going to be removable from the journal, because I am going to I'm going to also cut just ever so slightly off either the top or the bottom. I'm going to cut a little bit off because I want to do eyelets on the top and the bottom and run some elastic through. So these will be removable because you can fill this up right in it, fill it up, take it out, just put whatever I've got here, however many pages you want back in. Just fold them up. I don't think you even need to sew them. If you just put them one inside each other and just put them in the elastic, they should stay pretty well. So, that's the thought. You probably wouldn't even have to sew them if you didn't want to. Would it be better? Yes. But I know that some of you do not like it. And then these two are going to be sewn in. But I am, like I said, I am going to come back now that I have enough paper. I am going to come back and I am really going to revisit these prior to putting all of them in. So, I really kind of want to see. I was thinking I would put one of these in between, have one of the removable ones and then your other signature and then the removable one. I'm not going to have anything hanging out the fronts. I have to still cut this. I did place this in here. So, that is just really pretty and I'm very happy with it, but I will be cutting off the tops and the bottoms because I do want this to look like it's a very clean, because it's a home decor piece. Having all of that stuff hanging out the top or the sides is not going to be as attractive looking, I don't think, as just a, let me get these, as just a nice, clean cut, straightforward journal is going to be. And then, the mini album will be the same, where it's just going to be clean cut. So, I think what we can do right now is let's go ahead and we can place our pages in our mini album. Now I do still need to cover this, and I think I will just use the black, and I think I'm going to have 2 sheets. I don't think I have a partial. Let me see. That's not a whole piece. That's not enough. And what's this one? Is this the same? And that's been cut down. So, nope. 2 sheets. There we go. Okay. So we'll go over how we did this one more time. I'm going to go ahead and remove the very first one that's in inside front cover, or, you know, I don't know if it's the inside front, but the way it's sitting right now, it's the inside front cover. Okay. I'm almost done with this. I'm going to go ahead and use this Fabri-Tac up, I hope. And really, this 8.5 sheet does not need to be cut down. So I am going to just put my glue right on my sheet. This is another reason I like making albums and journals about the same size as the paper, because there's really not a lot of cutting you have to do as much. Okay, and I'm just going to put a line right there to make sure that I did get it over far enough. So I'm just going to find my spot here. Make sure I'm coming straight across. Let me see before I lay it down. Okay. I got little bubbles. Okay. Let me get a dry baby's wipe. Be careful when you're doing this kind of thing with the that it will move your page. And with Fabri-Tac, if you rub it a little bit, it'll ball up and go away. So it's another reason it's kind of nice to have the dry baby wipes. Okay. So you do want to make sure that you're getting the burnishing done on the score tape. Okay, so we're going to pull this back. I am going to put I'm going to put some Fabri-Tac in my gap between the front cover and the spine. Ooh. And then I am going to work my paper into that area. First against the front chipboard piece, and then you come back and work against the spine chipboard piece. Now, if you did not get, and I'm just keep doing this until I know that it's really grabbed hold of it, so I don't have to worry about be careful, especially if you didn't get it all the way down. You can bust it. Okay, so now while I'm working this, let's put some glue and we can go ahead and take this one off as well. But we're going to put some glue up because we did not put any double-sided tape on the black. I'm hoping I'm going to have enough of this to finish the book. Okay. So there's that. while I'm pushing down here, I'm going to fold it over. So now it has got a nice groove. It just takes a little bit of extra effort, guys. That is it. Just a little bit of extra effort, and you're going to have a beautiful gap there. Okay. So now we're going to fold this back. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put in our gap here. Now on this one, the gap where this paper is not really down in there very well. It did not get down in there very well at all. It is, you know, just kind of sitting there. I had a little spot there that was coming up. So, we're going to work to the spine. Whatever, if you're left-handed, then you'll work one side to the other side. If you're right-handed, you'll work one side to the other side, you know. Excuse me, allergies. So, yeah, I mean, this is June something, and I have a short sleeve shirt on and then a long sleeve. It's very light. It's like a t-shirt material, but it got chilly. We've got our windows open, so it's really nice. It's beautiful. Little bit of allergy thing going on, but you know, can only do so. It's only going to get so good, you know. So I got to always be a little something to worry about. Okay, now I'm going to take off this one, and I'm going to put the glue down on the rest of this page. There we go. So, I'm going to start it here. There we go. All right. And again, if you have the dry cloth to go in and get off any excess. Okay, so then all we have to do is cover this up like so. I went up a little bit on this page. I started out nice and straight, but then in one of these grooves, I ended up skewing the paper over just a little bit. So I am going to bring this page almost back to where the gap is so that I can kind of straighten it out. And so that way it hides the fact that they're not matching. It hides it a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and do, because normally I would just kind of butt it up, but then it takes me off the page. So, because the paper gets covered up again anyway, so this way I'm just kind of re-establishing a better line, and I can start that back further over. So I'm going to make a mark where I want to cut, and we're going to cut it. Whoops. And we're going to hopefully utilize the rest of this. I think this will be the last thing that I use this on because it's it is, you're having to wait too long for me to get my glue going. I can't get my glue going. Yeah, it's just part of crafting. And back when I was younger and when my time to craft was a lot more limited than it is now, I would get so frustrated having to wait on my glue or this or that. And I truly was like, I would get angry and just beside myself. But when you didn't have that much time to do it in the first place, and then you're having to, take the time to find something or wait for the glue to come down, or, and it just ate away at you because all you wanted it to be was just this perfect time where you could come and create something beautiful and not have it be so messy or need so much attention. You just wanted it to flow. Well, as we all know, it doesn't always do that. And but I have come to absolutely love every minute, even the screw-ups. I guess because there for a long while, I was able to just kind of craft when I wanted to craft, and then almost took a hiatus from crafting when I was taking care of my husband, and I moved in with my parents, and we're taking care of them the last 3 to 4 years of their lives. And then moved here to Kentucky, Georgia. Not in Georgia. I'm in Kentucky. Moved here and COVID hit. So, I just said, I can just craft. Who cares? I can just craft. And so I did. I had a blast. But, then I opened the Etsy shop, and then it was like, I want to craft. So, it's like an ebb and a flow, I guess. It's just, you go through different stages in your life. But I am having so much fun. My husband said, good God, you're working a lot on that Etsy shop. And he's a huge helper. But I said, but I'm enjoying it. I especially love when people write me and say, I am looking for blah, or anything close to blah. Do you have anything? I'm not seeing it in your shop, but you may have it. Because, guys, I got a boatload of stuff that I have yet to put on my shop. So, but I love that. Because it's like, oh! It's like helping a friend find the right thing for crafting, and that's just like huge for me. I just love it. Okay, so back here I was going to do this big V-shaped pocket, and with these two pieces. And I know I had a gal, Tanya, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. And she said that she was loving it, and then on I guess it was video 4, she said she kind of got lost. And and she said it was really hard seeing the black paper. And so I am sorry that I should use more of like a white contrast so you guys can see. I'll put this one here, and I'll put this one here, and it creates a V, and that's my page right there. Right there and right there is my page. So that, I think I really need to start doing that more often, because I don't want somebody who possibly maybe wants to make this or just enjoys watching Because for many years, that's all I had time to do was watch. So I would just watch and had a wonderful time doing that. But yeah, so I'm sorry. And I read all your comments. It might take me a few days. But all your comments, whether you're going through Facebook or you've watched it on YouTube, I try and catch everything. And I even went back and I was trying to clean up some stuff, and I found like 3 or 4 messages on YouTube that I had never answered, and it was like 4 years ago or 5 years ago or something. And so I answered them, and she said, "This was from 5 years ago." I said, "I know, sometimes I'm slow, but eventually I get to it." And she laughed. It was one of the gals that has been watching me for a long time. So she was like, totally, yeah, well, that's Lisa. That's Lisa. What can you do? Okay, so these, we're going to put, and I think I have my 3/8. I think that's what this is. We are going to, because we have the 1/2 inch, the 1/2 inch, and the 1/2 inch. See if you can see that. See, we have 3 1/2 inches. We've got a 1/2 inch here, and then a 1/2 inch, and then another 1/2 inch. This middle one, we're going to put double-sided tape down on it. Right down the center. Oops, I hate when I do that. Let me get a little tip of glue and glue that piece back down. Don't ever rip those off, just glue them right back down. Just be careful, because you get that glue on there, then they're really wet, and if you push hard, you're going to tear it off anyway. So be careful. And then I will put some glue on the edges if I didn't get the glue all the way, if I didn't get the tape all the way up. So this is how it is going to be stuck down onto our book, but we are going to reinforce it, so not to worry. Now, I know that I had said this was going to be page 1, but I'm now thinking that I like this one as page 1. And then this has the V. So I would have I don't like that much though. So I think I'll keep this as page 1, and we'll just have to really do up a nice tag and maybe a few other small ones to really build this page up to look nice. And this pocket can hold quite a bit, so I'm not super worried about that part. Okay. What's going on here? Oh, that's just the accordion. Gotcha. Okay. So we need to do that with all 3. Let's get our... Now, if you don't have score tape, you most certainly can do it with glue. Not a problem. Don't go out and buy it if you don't have it. I would say getting score tape would be a good thing. I would say that. Okay, so now this is getting, that is part of the cover. So that is the pocket there. And now we have paper that we're going to be able to make that pocket look super. And then this, let's see. This one is going to get, okay, so page 1 is going to get the V pocket. Base page 1 is going to get the V pocket. Base page 2, which is what all this is going to get a belly band, okay? So that's the back of this one, and then this one is the pocket, okay, from the cover. All right, so now we have that all correct. So there's that, and then that, and let's open this one up. This has got a lot of pages to it, and we still have that frame to do. Oh, but I'm so happy I have more paper. So happy. Well, not more paper. I mean, I didn't go out and buy more paper, but I decided not to use it inside the box. Just use some. And, you know, quite honestly, it would have looked just fine with black paper in the center of the box, in the inside of the box. It would have looked just perfect with just cardstock. So, you know, don't feel like, oh, I have to go and find something neutral that'll match my paper or anything. Just, you know, just use the cardstock that you used. So any of that will work. Okay. Now, I usually like starting with, oh, I lost my 5x7 frame here. Oop, this way. There we go. Okay, starting with the center one is a good idea. Having a centering ruler is a great idea. So, you can either use your grid lines. This is my old one because I have my other one out in the other room. So, I'm finding my center. And these are a 1/2 inch. So, I'm going to go a 1/4 out from my center and make a line. And a 1/4 out from my center and make a line. Let's see. I moved it just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to come up here. Find my center again. And do the same thing. Go a 1/4 and go a 1/4. Now I could go ahead, which I don't know why I didn't there, and I'm going to skip a 1/4, and then I'm going to make another line here and here, skip a 1/4, and make a line here and here. So there's where all 3 of my pages go. So I'm going to come back here and do it this way. Skip a 1/4, and then I'll have my page there and there. Skip a 1/4, and I'll have my page there and there. So there's the 1/2 inch, the 1/2 inch, and the 1/2 inch. So can you see that? Okay. So let's go ahead. Now none of this is the reinforcement stuff. That will come a little later. But we're just going to get this in. There we go. And I want this to be nice and flat. Even. I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to find those lines. 1/2 inch there, and you want to center it top and bottom. Let me see before I push it. Okay, it's not exactly straight. Let's do it nice and slow. And if you want to, you can take a little bit of glue. I left this open too long. Get a little bit of glue and put some dots. And it will help it kind of float on those dots for a moment. Okay, so let's drop one side down so that I can see before I lay this down that it's straight. So I'm laying it sideways. It's not that straight. Okay, so I have it where I want it. It's nice and straight. Lay it down. Make sure the front page is nice and straight. And then once you have it where you want it, go ahead and lay it down. There we go. Good job. I'm telling myself I did a good job. So there we go. Let's go ahead and keep this closed. I still have to come up with some nice charms. Okay, so now let's do page 1. Make sure I've got make sure that you have it, you know, the correct up and down. Don't put it in upside down. Okay. So now I'm going to lay this on the other sheet. Make sure that we are lined up. Set my page on the marks. It gets a little fiddly. Page. Okay, and then we're going to, if I could grab the back page. Good gravy, I kept missing it. Okay. I just finished saying I love all of it, don't I? Okay, so now I'm going to just flip the page over and put it down. That is a super easy way of putting these pages on. I mean, now you have them lined up, right? They are lined up and they are in. And I have space in between. There is a 1/4 inch in between each one of these pages, so I can do whatever I want to do in there. Okay, and then the back one. Now the back one is pretty thick, so having that 1/4 inch there is really going to be nice, especially for this one. But it also does make it a little tricky getting it, you know, getting it into place, because when you're flipping it over, it's wanting to move on you. Okay, so we're going to do this again, except I want to flip this around this way and flip this around this way. Okay, so now I've got the sticky side up and folded. And I'm going to lay these down on the sheets, and because this is the 3rd page, it's a little more tricky to get it down onto your spot. But we've got them lined up with the other pages. I'm going to get this on the lines that I want, and I'm going to find I'm going to find my, yeah, here we go. Put it right on there. Okay. It's hooking on something. Okay. Line them up. Lay it out. And there we go. So, and look at how nicely that lays down. You know, now it's not all full. So, but having a 1/2 inch in between the pages there and then 1/4 of an inch here just is a lot. I mean, look, this is not a really thin page. It's got an extra 1/8 of an inch on both sides, and it just lays down. And then look at this one. Now, there's nothing over here yet, but I mean, just look at that. See, now there is where, there. Okay. When I laid that down a little bit better, it laid down so much nicer. Just look at that. I'm not holding it. I'm just touching it. But it's just laying down very nicely. And then this is going to go here. You just have to think about what it is. You know, you build something this large. I mean, this is almost a 1/2 inch. Closed up 1/4 of an inch. Well, I got a 1/4 of an inch right about, you know. So this page, that's why this page is just going to be a belly band. Just a simple belly band. And I believe that's what this one is. Yeah, because that one's that, and the first, yeah. So this is a simple belly band, which also will not mess up these little fellas. You know, because you don't want to be hooking these on something. So the belly band is, you know, there will be decorations, but keeping this in mind. So you always want to think through your books as best you can. As best you can when you're making those big. And I just love this with all of the, and I'm going to have a great time decorating all of these. And then that flips. And then this is our, that's the belly band. So I'm going to put that there. And this is the pocket. And this one is these guys. Okay. So that was pretty quick. Pretty quick and easy. I'm not going to decorate these just yet. I still have the things to do. So next time when we come, I'm going to do some of it on my own. But installing these V pockets, I will show you how to do that, because that's not, I mean, it's not like a new thing, but you know, it's installing a belly band is not that hard. It's, you know, you just 1/2 inch on both sides, clip the ends, and do this. The only thing you want to make sure is that you're sliding down this way. You don't want to have a short piece of paper on this side to hook onto. That's the big thing. You know, you want this to just be able to tuck it right in and have no problems. All right. And then this, I mean, this pocket's basically in. It's just going to put some papers in. I don't know what I'm doing with the inside, front, and back cover. Now that I have paper, it's going to be a little easier. So I'm going to work on this off camera, but on the few things that I think you're going to want to see. And then next time we'll do the same thing with the journal. We'll put everything, we'll get everything put into the journal. And we have to do the reinforcements on this, which I've done in the past. So, but I will bring you along for the ride on that. I'm kind of thinking that's where we're at. All right, guys. Love you all. Mwah! Talk to you later. Bye.